A week ago, the most powerful AI model on the planet got pulled offline, not slowly, overnight. One letter from the government to Anthropic and Fable was just gone. No warning, no appeal. It's not guaranteed anymore that you'll have access to the strongest AI models anymore. And what would you do if you lost access to the less powerful models as well, like Sonnet and ChatGPT? If you built your business on it, your workflows, your apps, your whole creative process, it'd all be gone. I'm going all in on local open source AI, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why I'm transitioning to make sure that nobody can ever flip the switch on me. Let me be clear about something up front, because I don't want you to think I'm anti-cloud. I'm not. I use cloud models every single day. They're the smartest tools available, and honestly, they're going to stay ahead of local, at least for the short term. But there's a difference between renting AI and owning it. When you use ChatGPT or Claude in the cloud, you don't own anything. You rent access. And rented access can be taken away by a government, by a policy change, by a price hike, by some terms of service line you never read. We just watched it happen in real time with Fable, the single most capable model on Earth, gone with one letter. The way I think about it now is electricity. Most of the time you're happy on the grid. It's cheaper, it's easier, somebody else maintains it. But the people who actually are resilient, they've got a generator in the garage. A storm hits, grid goes down, they keep running. That's what local AI is right now. It's the generator. I think eventually, though, it could become your primary source of power. So looking at this graphic here, we have rented and owned. And if rented goes offline, you can still depend upon your owned stack. So what's the first reason to run local AI? The first reason is nobody can turn it off. The first reason is the obvious one, but it's the one that matters to me most. A model running on my own hardware can't be banned. When you download an open source model, you download a file. From that point on, it's yours. Whether or not the company that made it still exists, it works whether or not a government likes it, it works whether or not your internet is even on. On a plane, in a blackout, through an outage, it just runs. Compare that to what happened with Fable. People had entire products built on top of it. Then a letter goes out and it's gone. That's not a risk I'm willing to carry on to the most important layer of my stack. I'm not saying to go fully local for everything right now, although we'll probably all want to do that at some point. I'm saying make small changes over time so that you can eventually own every layer in your operating system stack. In previous videos, we talked about owning your data through Markdown files in Obsidian. Running local models is how you own the AI intelligence layer. Now, if you look at this graph a little bit more closely, you have the knowledge layer, so this is where the Markdown files live. I choose to use Obsidian, but I know there's other softwares that you can use to manage these Markdown files in a nice way. Then we have the translation layer, so this is where your maps, templates, frameworks, instructions live. So this is what tells the AI layer how to interact with your knowledge layer. Then lastly, we have the AI layer itself, which is ChatGPT, Claude, Qwen, Llama, DeepSeek. And this is a layer that's easily interchangeable. So if you decide to stop using ChatGPT or Claude, you could simply just switch it out to Qwen, for example, and it will start working with your knowledge and translation layer. Reason number 2, open source has caught up. Now, here's the objection that everyone throws out. Local models are garbage. They can't compete. And a year ago, that was true. 2 years ago, it was really true. Running a model on your laptop was a toy. That's not the case anymore, though. The switch flipped very recently. Alex Finn, who is a pioneer in the AI vibe coding space, posted something this week that stopped me. He said, and I'm quoting him, "I was wrong. I've been saying for months that open source AI models are 6 months behind Frontier." They caught up. GLM 5.2 is as good as Opus 4.8. This changes everything. If you run GLM 5.2 locally, no government can take it away. You become sovereign. That word sovereign, that's the whole thing right there. Now, I want to be fair because I'm not here to sell you a fantasy. GLM 5.2 is a massive model. You are not running that on a Mac Mini. You need serious GPUs. And there were good replies pushing back on Alex's take. That Frontier models are heavily subsidized right now, so local isn't always cheaper, and that the benchmark gap isn't fully closed. Those are fair points, but here's the thing. This is the worst it will ever be. Hardware generally gets cheaper. Models get more efficient. The trajectory only goes one way. For most everyday tasks, a model you could run today on some pretty standard consumer hardware already handles 70 to 80% of what you'd reach for ChatGPT or Claude to do. You don't need frontier intelligence for most jobs. You need good enough intelligence that's private, free, after paying for the hardware, and that's always on. Reason number 3, the KYC wake-up call. This is the one that really lit a fire under me. Let me show you something. So this is a screenshot from Anthropic's recent privacy policy change. This is from reporting on AI verification policies. Read what it actually says. Verification will trigger when accessing certain capabilities during routine platform integrity checks or as part of safety and compliance measures. And then what you have to submit. They selected persona identities as the verification partner. That's the same KYC infrastructure used across financial services. It requires a physical undamaged passport, driver's license, or national identity card. Photocopies don't count. Mobile IDs don't count. And a live selfie may also be required for biometric matching and liveness detection. So sit with that for a second. To use certain AI capabilities, you may have to hand over your passport and a live scan of your face for biometric matching. Now, maybe you're fine with that. Maybe you're not. But here's the point. If you don't agree with a KYC policy like this, your only real alternative is to run local open source models on your own hardware. That's the escape valve. You either accept identity and compliance terms that get attached to Frontier Access now and into the future, or you own intelligence that doesn't ask for your passport. Just because you don't mind a certain policy now doesn't mean that you won't disagree with a policy change in the future. I know which side of that I want to be on. So let me show you what I'm actually going to be building, because I don't want this to just be theory. The piece I'm most excited about is running Hermes as my agent, with the local LLM as my brain, pointed directly at my Obsidian vault. So let me go ahead and break that down. Hermes is an agent. Think of it as the thing that actually does work, not just chats. It's the arms and legs of your AI that actually takes action on your behalf. The big unlock with Hermes is that it's built to run locally and never stops. You point a Hermes profile at a local model, which acts as the brain, and now you even have an agent that runs free, runs offline, and remembers everything. The model is the engine, Hermes is the rest of the car. And then the part that ties it back to everything I talk about on this channel. You point Hermes desktop at your Obsidian vault. So the agent isn't working blind. It has my actual context, my notes, my projects, my decisions, my daily logs. All of it is sitting in local markdown files on my machine. So put those things together and think about what you've got. An agent running on a model that lives on my hardware, reading from a knowledge base that lives on my hardware, no API key, no per token bill, no company watching what I do. Nothing leaves the machine, and nobody, no government, no lab, no policy change can switch it off. That's the generator in my garage. That's a layer of my stack that's genuinely mine. And the on-ramp is simpler than people think. You start with a runtime. LM Studio if you want a clean click and run interface. Ollama if you're comfortable on the command line. You match the model size to your hardware. A 12 billion parameter model on 16 gigabytes of RAM is the sweet spot, I think, for most people. But I'll be doing a lot of experimentation. So you pull something like Qwen 3 to start, and you point your agent at it. So here's where I've landed. The lesson out of all this isn't cloud bad, local good. I still use cloud every day. Your lesson is this. Don't build your entire life on something that can disappear with one letter, or that can demand your passport and a face scan to keep using. Keep all of your knowledge, skills, processes, and any other information that's important to you in plain markdown files on your own computer. Strive towards owning your stack. Have a generator. Local open source AI is an insurance policy that you can't afford to not have. If you want to do the same, don't just nod along to this video though. This weekend, download LM Studio or Ollama, pull a model, point Hermes at it, and aim it at your own notes. Force yourself to run one real task fully locally. I'll be providing more detailed instructions for how to do this in future videos. Because the next time something gets banned or priced out of reach or wrapped in compliance you didn't sign up for, you'll still be able to run your business. Nobody will be able to turn you off. If this was useful, hit subscribe. I'm building this channel around exactly this. Real workflows, real tools, owning your own stack, Drop a comment and tell me what your biggest hesitation is about going local, or what you plan to do with this information. I read every single comment and it shapes what I make next. So go build something that nobody can turn off. I'll see you in the next one.